Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. We are in the month of June 2024, and we're still working on functional posture. Balance is a lot today, so I don't have my chair out with me, but if you feel like you need to have a chair or a wall close by to help you with balance, I'm all for that. I have 3 choices of hand weights, and we're going to be using those in different levels for different muscle groups. And also while we are balancing functionally. We always start with a little bit of Tai Chi. So the forms that we're going to do today is I'm going to blend brush knee and repulse monkey. So if you stand on your right foot and tap your left, this is the position for right ball. And then your right hand would be on top. So just a review. And then if I switch that and I stand on my left foot with my right foot tapped and I reverse, this is left ball. So let's come into our right ball position. And I just want you to hold your hands in place here while we review some footwork. We'll step forward with the left foot and you'll strike the heel. You'll bend that front knee any amount as you shift your body weight. Then as you come back, you can tap the foot in between and then step back behind you on a diagonal. You're going to hit the ball of the foot first and pull up the toes of your right foot. And if you don't want to have your hands in ball while you're figuring out the footwork, that's okay. So we'll shift weight, we'll strike the heel and lean forward. We'll come back diagonal, strike the ball of the foot and shift the toes up. So let's do that one more time just with the feet. Strike the heel, shift the weight, tap, strike the ball of the foot on a diagonal, and pull the toes up. Okay, so let's add the brush knee and repulse monkey arms. So we start in right ball. For brush knee, it's always this bottom hand that's closest to this knee. So that's the one that's going to brush and come back while the other one blocks. So as we step forward left, this left hand will push back. The right hand pushes forward. You'll come back into your right ball, step back diagonal, and the arms open. We block with the front hand. The back palm turns up, and you're going to look back toward that hand behind you. Shift back into right ball. Brush knee, step forward, block. Back to right ball, step back diagonal, repulse monkey. And right ball. Brush knee, exhale. Right ball. Repulse monkey. And I always have a hard time turning my back palm up. I want to make it do the same thing as my front hand. So I tend to do that at the last piece. I'll go out like this and then I'll go, oh yeah, palm up. So let's do 3 more on this side. If you have the balance, try not to tap in between. Maybe pick the foot up and then take it back. 2 more. Heel strike, brush knee. Whoop, I'm going to tipple over. Tipple or topple. Come back in. And repulse monkey. 1 more on this side. Brush knee. And in. Repulse monkey. Back to right ball. Okay, let's just roll the ball 1 time to get to the other side. Now we're in left ball. If you want to try the footwork first, you can follow me. If you want to go ahead and add the arms, go ahead. So we strike the heel, shift body weight, come back, step back on the diagonal, ball of the foot, pull the toes up. So we're doing 2 different planes of movement, coming forward on that sagittal plane, and then coming on a diagonal plane of movement. All right, 1 more just with the footwork. And it feels different for me on this side in terms of balance. And of course, strength of my hip and my knee. Okay, so now we're in left ball. This bottom hand is going to do brush knee as we block forward. Come back to left ball, step to the diagonal back, ball of the foot, open out into repulse monkey, turn the back palm up, the front palm faces forward. Back into left ball, brush knee. Boy, I have to really think about the arm position on this side. It feels a little foreign in which direction I'm facing. And brush knee. So we're coming into a really nice mind-body connection here as we work on balance. We're focusing on the sequence, stability of our joints. And let's do 2 more on this side. Brush knee, left ball, repulse monkey. 2 more. It's feeling a little bit more natural now, just in time for 1 more. Coming back to our left ball. Then we'll step out to the right, place hands on shoulders. Oftentimes we close our form by brushing away anything negative and then relaxing down. All right, so we are going to take either 1 heavy weight or 2 medium. I'm going to take, and I would suggest for those of you that have some shoulder issues and have trouble with one arm lifting up, you might want to hold on 1 weight instead of 2, because then your good arm is going to help you to be able to lift. So let's take the feet out into a nice wide Wu Chi, and we are going to bend the right knee and then lift the right heel up. Bend the right knee, lift the right heel up. So we're doing a little weight shift, and my left knee stays straight the entire time. Good. 1 more just with the leg. So it's a little side lunge and raising the heel. Now we're just going to turn the body to the knee and pull the weight into the chest. And then we'll swing the weight up any amount. Come down, pull it in. So you're doing a back row. And then swing it up. It's like a wood chop. So by now you should be going, oh, I either have the right weight for this or maybe I don't. And I might need to make adjustments. Now, as you know, this range of motion can be anything. It doesn't have to be all the way up. If you have pretty healthy shoulders, you can certainly come up even more. But I don't want it to be a swing. I still want you to really place the weight. And then another option, after the row and after the lift, we'll add a push away. So swing down. We have a row, lift, and a press. Good. The leg work isn't changing. You should be feeling that work in the right quad now, right glute. Let's do a couple more. And you'll notice I'm kind of pivoting on the right foot. So I'm lifting the heel and turning the foot. And then come back to center and relax. Roll the shoulders, just the legs. We'll bend the knee and lift up on the heel. Good. So mine's going to be kind of small here for this right hip. Just giving your arms a chance to take a break here while we focus on the leg movement. And then we'll take it down and pull in. Now notice my elbows are not out like this. I'm squeezing them together. So pull in, raise up any amount, pivot on the ball of your left foot. So try not to turn your body and leave your leg there. So you're rotating, so we're not twisting our knee. Your legs, in terms of distance apart, I want you to make that a comfortable distance. You don't have to be really wide. And then if you're ready to add the up press, if you so choose, bring it in, push it away. So really functional, right? We have to pull and pick something up off the floor. We're going to bring it up. Overhead bin, push your suitcase up. Reach back down for another suitcase, pull it in toward you. Bring it up and push it into the overhead bin or whatever it might be. Great job, everybody. 2 more on this side. Control the negative. So when you come back down with that arm, the arms right here, I want you to decelerate. Take your time. This is your last one. And come back to the center. Great job. Okay, 2 individual weights now, something that you can do upright rows and shoulder raises. So I'm going to go down to my medium weights. So one of our balance positions is called tandem stance. We're going to start with our right foot forward. If we take our left foot back a little bit, this is split stance. If we bring the foot directly behind the other one, this is tandem stance. Obviously, tandem stance is a little harder. So if you need to separate your feet a little bit, any amount for this movement, I want you to feel like you have a good, strong base of support, but maybe challenge yourself and come a little closer. Okay, so we're just going to shift the body weight forward, pick up the back heel, and back. This looks a little similar from what we did in Tai Chi. So when we go forward, the opposite arm is going to just do a bicep curl and then switch. Now this might be easy for the workload you picked up. That's fine. I just want you to get used to what we're doing in opposition with your arms. And you're going at your own pace, controlled. Now staying with the bicep curls, you're going to bring the weight across the body to the opposite shoulder. So this is just going to load the body a little bit differently. It's still a bicep curl, but now the resistance is in a different spot. So your core is making adjustments. So if you have shoulders that say this is okay, you can make this a longer arm lever. If not, stay with your curls. Still coming across my body. And you can rotate slightly with your torso as well. Good. So let's do 1 more of these on each side. And the next one we go out and out. It's kind of like a little seesaw. So if this is too challenging, you can have your elbows bent and do a little seesaw here. It's just going to shorten the lever, which decreases the workload. Good. Are you still pulling up the toes when you shift your weight back? That's working the front of the shin muscle. Okay, now the last set, we're going to go to the back. Back, back. And we're not coming forward at all with the weight. We're just going behind us. Left arm goes back when you shift body weight to the right foot. Right arm goes back when you shift back towards the left foot. 4. Beautiful. 3. 2. and 1. Great. Okay, you might need to come to your wall, or you can just keep your weights here, and we are going to releve up off your heels, 1, and releve 2. So your body weight is fairly equal between right and left foot. You're not leaning forward or leaning back. You're staying pretty much in the middle. If you want to add anything with your arms, be my guest. Maybe bicep curls or shoulder raises or upright rows. 5 more. 1, 2. And my back foot's slightly turned out. That's giving me a little bit more stability. 2. 2 more. Whoop. And 1 more. Up. Up, 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 up. Come on, everybody. And down. Oh, I didn't give you a warning on that hold. Okay, shake the legs out. Okay, are your weights okay for the second set with the arm work? If not, make an adjustment here. And we will split our stance with the left foot in front. And if you need more for balance, take your feet wider. If you want to challenge yourself, you can even do this completely like you're walking on a tightrope. That's super challenging. Okay, just with the legs, we're going to lean forward and pull the toes back. So your left knee bends and your right knee bends a little. It's not a lot. Forward and back. Now, one thing I didn't cue on is I want to make sure you don't bend over when you're going forward. This is functional posture class, so I want you to keep that nice neutral spinal alignment. So when we're coming forward, the opposite arm is going to do a bicep curl. So let's bring it up and switch. And I'm starting on the sagittal plane here with a nice hammer curl. This one's the least invasive on the shoulder, so you might even just stay with this exercise as long as you need to. Our next option is to let the arm come across toward the opposite shoulder. And across. Palm is facing in toward your heart as you come up, but you can always change that palm position as well. Try to activate the muscles a little differently in the forearms and in the biceps. So this is the one you might want to stay with if you have difficulties with your shoulder. The next option is to bring that arm but a longer lever. Across and across. So as soon as I keep my arm straight and lift it away from my body, now the deltoid, the shoulder's getting involved. This is okay down here, staying in a pain-free range of motion or sticking with your bicep curls. Good, let's do 2 more. One more. Now we go to the side, any amount. So a little teeter-totter. Now this is challenging. I have 5-pounders. I'm not feeling any pain in my shoulders, but I'm just going to bend my arms a little bit more so that I don't lose form. Great job. Keep pulling the toes up on that left foot. This helps us from stumbling and tripping if we don't pull our toes up when we're walking. Last one here, and then we're going to the back. So we press behind, but not forward of our body, just to the back. We're getting the triceps, the rear deltoids into the mix. So this gives us a nice, pretty complete upper body sequence. Fronts of the shoulders, sides of the shoulders, backs of the shoulders, little bit of rotation of the shoulders, and the biceps and the triceps. 2 more. Good, one more. Then hold your tandem stance or split stance any distance apart between your feet. If you need the wall for balance, you can set your weights down, and let's releve up and down, up and down. What if you only barely lift your heels up off the floor? Is that okay? Yes. Head nod, yes. Now, if you can come up higher, it's great because we're working more range of motion. But I know I have folks that have struggles with maybe arthritis in their toes, things like that. So you don't have to come all the way up if it hurts. And you can add some bicep curls, some upright rows. Get snazzy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Na 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 na. All right, let's get 5 more, everybody. Do you know that Will Smith song? 4 more. Now remember, the last one we're going to hold it. If you're up to the challenge. 3, maybe I'm not. 2. Okay, let's hold it together. Up, 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 up. And down. Beautiful. Roll those shoulders out. Let's take a break from the weights. Just set them on the floor for a second. Shake everything out. Okay, we're going to go back into the legs, and we're using our split stance position. Right foot in front, left foot back, any distance apart. So this is difficult in tandem, but we can try them pretty close together. And without any weights to start, we're going to sit down into a squat and both knees bend. And it's just pretty functional to bring your arms forward a little bit and come up. So we're going to shift down and come up. Grab your ski poles. That'll be a good analogy. Now, if your balance feels up to it today, you're going to come up with a little releve. So we'll squat down and up on toes. Squat down, up on toes. So maybe you're going to decide to stay without weights or grab anything you'd like now, and you can continue the arms just the way we did it, or I'm going to give you the option to circle your arms. So you can come down and around, down and around. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to releve up as you're circling because the weight distribution is changing while you're moving your arms. So your core and your balance is having to adjust millisecond by millisecond as your arms change position. Good. Don't have to do the circle. You don't have to do the releve up. You choose. Stay with me for about 20 seconds. Remember, thinking good posture, pain-free range of motion on those shoulders. You can even do this with bent elbows, rotator cuff circles. We have time for one more. And relax. Good morning, Dave.
Morning.
All right, so let's try it on the other side with no weight. Unless you want to go with weight right away. You know that's absolutely fine. Okay, on the other side, choose your stance here. Tandem, split, or a little wider. And let's come down into your split squat and back up. Now, ideally, your heel and the back leg is going to stay down. But if you're tight in your Achilles tendon and that back heel has to lift up a little bit, that's okay. But maybe try to stay in a range where you can keep it down. I like that stretch. Okay, you can stay without weight, or let's go add in a possible circle and releve. We'll come down and up. So if you need the wall for support here, maybe you'll just hold onto a wall and you'll do one arm. And after a few reps, you can change, hold on to the wall, and do the other arm. Great job. Looking at about 35 seconds to go on this side with any option you want. Could you reverse the circle? You certainly could. Oh, maybe you've done that already. Great. Ooh, that's harder on balance to reverse that circle. 15 seconds. Great job. We have time for one more. And relax, weights are down. Great job. Shake out arms, shake out legs. We're going to do a little bit of a stretch here. Take the feet a little wider than hips distance. Reach the right arm up. Imagine you're going to scratch your back behind the neck and then stretch over to the side. Come back up a little bit. Next option is to put your hand behind your back on that left side and stretch over. So keep your shoulders squared to the front, not rotating, looking down, but open up the lat, stretch through the tricep, and come up. Bottom arm carefully comes down. Top arm releases. Lift the left arm up, scratch the back, side bend. Come up part way. Next option, slide that hand behind the back, any amount for a comfortable cow face arm position. Breathing into the left side ribs. Ooh, I'm sweating. Feels humid in the house today. The humidity was really up last night. It's kind of like a sauna outside. All right, come up, release the bottom arm gently, the top arm. Interlace the hands in front of you. Press the palms or knuckles forward. Separate your shoulder blades. Drop your chin down towards your chest. And then lift the head. Bend your right knee. Bring the hands to support here. We can take this left leg out a little more. Stretch through the inner thigh and shift your body down any amount to feel it in your hamstring. Neutral spine. So that's how our back's going to be if we're going to pick something up off the floor. We're going to keep it nice and straight. And then come up. Now, how did you interlace your hands the first time? The way you always do, right? So switch that, which feels really funky. Push out, drop the chin. Good. Lift the head. Shift over, place the hands, pull the toes up. Again, that's a recurring theme today. Stretch inner thigh, and then drop the chest down with the neutral spine any amount to feel that move into your hamstring. Keep the abdominals engaged. Keep the breath moving as we stretch. And come up. Now we'll interlace hands behind the back. If that feels comfortable, roll your shoulder blades together or just put your hands on your hips and pull your elbows back, separating the front of the shoulders for a chest expansion. Your toes are turned out here. We're going to bend the knees, come down to a plie, and then fold your body down. If that feels okay, as far as you'd like to go. So now I'm feeling this in my low back. So those of you with back issues, you might decline to do this. And then we'll lift the chest back up. Stay in your squat. Put your hands on your thighs. Turn your head to look right and drop your left shoulder down and look behind you as far as you can look with your head and with your eyeballs. So let your eyeballs go way over to the right side. We've got a nice twist here. Come back through the middle. Look over your left shoulder, and I'm kind of pushing my hand to the inner thigh here a little bit. And look as far as you can behind you, especially with your left eyeball. Maybe close your left eyeball. Can you wink it? And see if you can see anything behind you with your right eyeball. I can just see my nose. It's a pretty big nose, so that's all I can see is my nose. Okay, come back to the center. Now round your back like a cat. Look towards your belly. Tuck your tailbone under. One more back release for the low back. And then roll yourself all the way up. And take a big breath. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, we're moving down to the mat. You're going to need your weights close enough to be able to grab them without having to sit back up again. So I like to typically put a couple of sizes on the side of my mat. If you need a little pillow for the back of your head, be sure that you have that ready because we're going to be down on the back for a while. Also, if you have your yoga strap, there's an option to use that to stretch the hamstrings a bit at the end of this sequence. Okay, so we're going to be working on that functional one at a time movement again as we come down onto our backs. So I'm going to start with my medium workload as I get back here. Okay, so I'm keeping the elbows tucked in tight to my body. They're not coming out like wings. So I'm going to tuck them right in, and my knuckles are facing the ceiling. And then push your low back down into the floor. And those of you that have low back issues, you're going to be really careful with this and not let your low back lift up off the floor. So engage and push down. I'm going to lift my right knee up to table, set my foot down, lift my left knee up to table and down. So functionally, our body moves in opposition. So when your left knee is up, I want your right arm to be up. And reverse. So I'm going to pull the elbow down and then reverse. So I'm doing chest presses or tricep presses with the arms. If adding the legs up and down is too much, just keep your both feet on the floor and alternate. So to make this really challenging, don't touch any foot to the floor. So you're going to keep the knees bent a little bit and almost touch the foot down. Or you can even extend the leg long. So this is like the Pilates single leg stretch. So lots of variations. So stay with the leg variation that you like, but we're going to change the arms. So the arms are straight up. When the right knee is up, we're going to bend the left elbow for a tricep. Bend and bend. So now I'm keeping the elbows facing the ceiling. And if you do it backwards, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Just find a good flow that works for you. If your low back's starting to hurt and you have your feet up off the floor, you know what to do. Set one foot down at a time. Good job. Take breaks when you need to. We're going for some endurance here. Can you give me 30 seconds? Now, if you want to change to a different exercise, you can add some variation for yourself. And are you breathing? Good job. 20 seconds. Woo. Nice job. We're almost there. You can always set your weights down and just keep moving the limbs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring the feet back down. Lower the weights down. You can set them all the way down to the floor. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe make some circles with your knees. Just release any tension in your low back. Maybe rock side to side. Okay, left foot goes down. And I want you to see if you can push your hips up off the floor for a one-leg bridge. So we're just going to lift and lower. Go slow because sometimes the hamstring cramps on you on these. Now, if one leg is not doable, then your right foot's just going to come down and meet it as we lift with both hips. So we're up, down, up, down. Okay, if this is feeling pretty good, grab those weights again, bend your elbows, and we are going to press up, down, both arms, up, down. So in the last set of work, we did two exercises. We did the press and we did the tricep extension. So for now, keep your hips down and watch the exercise for arms. We come up, we bend the elbows, we press up, and then we lower down. So we press, bend, and down. So with the bridge, we'll lift up into bridge. As you do the tricep exercise, hold your bridge up, isometric, and then come down. Let's do 5 more of these. Press up, bend, straighten, down. Remember, you can do both legs. 4, bend, straighten, down. 3 more. Up, bend. Core is really firing up. And press. Weights come right next to your ears. And 1 more. Remember, no weights is an option. It always is. And relax. Okay, let's see how the other leg does for single leg bridge. I'm talking to myself because I'm not sure if it's going to work on my right hip. Okay, so let's go up. I think I can do a baby one. Up. So if you're ready to add some arms with this, great. If you're not, that's okay too, or you want to do both legs again. So we'll just do the press first. Nice work. 3 more just with the press. Any amount lifting on the bridge. Okay, if you want, you can set the hips down as you practice the arms. Up, bend, straighten, and down. We can try 1 more just to make sure you got the hang of it. And then your option to add the bridge. So you'll lift, then hold the bridge as you do the tricep. Lower down. 5 more. Up, bend, straighten, down. Now what about that left knee that's up there in table? Can you do something different with it? Oh yeah, we sure can. Good job. We have 2 more. But Lisa, we didn't do that on the other side. That's okay. That's all right. We can try to experiment with different things on one side. Just gives you some ideas for later. I think that was 5. Okay, rest those weights down. So let's stretch our hips a little bit here. Cross your right ankle over your left. Push this knee open a little bit. We're just going to hold this position with the legs as we extend our right arm up, left hand behind the head, and we'll do 10 oblique crunches. So we're going to come across for 1, 2. Your right shoulder blade stays down, your left shoulder blade lifts as we rotate. Try not to pull on your head. 5 more. Keep that little space between your chin and your sternum if you can. It might decrease a little bit. 3, 2, and 1. Relax the head and shoulders down. Pull the legs in toward you any amount. And this is challenging on my right hip, so I'm just going to do a little bit, but you can pull in with your arms. You can press with your bottom leg to push the top hip forward, or you can hold onto the top leg and extend the bottom leg out. Let's hold here about 30 seconds just to give that hip a nice stretch. And breathe. I'm going to come back down because my hip isn't liking it, but you stay where you are. A couple more deep breaths. All right, let's repeat on the other side. So uncross. Ooh, all right. Cross the other leg over. You can open this knee out a little bit. Left arm goes next to you on the floor. Right hand supports the back of the head, and the elbow is out to the side. So when we crunch, we're not going to pull our elbow forward. So rotate across. Right shoulder blade comes up for 10. 9. Feeling those obliques working. You could even add a weight with this if you wanted to bring it to your shoulder. 6. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Relax, and let's stretch the hip by bringing the knees up any amount and holding that nice stretch. Pain-free range of motion, but you should have some mild stretch discomfort. I even hate saying that. I like saying that, but sometimes a stretch feels just a little bit of slight discomfort. It's not pain, but you notice that the muscle is stretching. If you're not sure what that is, then don't go to that point either. Just stay in a nice, comfortable place. Couple more breaths here. All right, release down, uncross. Optional yoga strap for our hamstring stretch. We're going to place it under the ball of the right foot and bring it up. So I'm going to give you guys a minute and a half here to stretch. You can stay with the leg straight up. You can bring it across your body for the IT band. You can open it out for the inner thigh. Whatever you want to do for your 90 seconds, I just want you to give you the opportunity to observe what you're feeling, where you feel tight. I just straightened out my bottom leg because I can get a better hip flexor stretch, but you can keep this knee bent, which feels better on your lower back. So think about where you'd like to go with this. You can also do a few little ankle pumps here. Oh, that was really strange. When I flexed my heel, I felt it in my hip, in the back part of my hip. The ankle bone's connected to the hip bone. I guess it is to some degree. All along that posterior chain. Let's see what we got. We've got 40 seconds to go. And you're breathing nice and smooth. Taking the stretch wherever it feels good for you. And last 20 seconds, or if you've had enough of the stretch, you can come out earlier and just relax. Relaxing can be part of class, right? It definitely can. 5 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's see what the left leg has to say. Let's bring it on up. So you don't have to do the same thing you did on the other side because our limbs have different requirements. Okay, 90 seconds here. You can come across. Oh, that IT band really needs that today. Or you can go out to the side, adductors. We can do some ankle pumps. And of course, breathing. And 40 seconds. And if you think about your breath, try to use one of the sinking breaths where you're exhaling twice as long as the duration that you inhale. That'll help you to relax those muscles. 15 seconds. Last breath in. And exhale. Release the strap. Bring yourself up to seated for the Russian twist. Okay, so with Russian twist, we're sitting on the floor. Always like a little bit of cushion underneath the seat. Helps me balance a little bit, actually. And then one weight of any size or no weights at all. Now, this exercise is more challenging when the weight is away from your body. So you can keep it in nice and close, or you can extend the arms away from you any amount. We'll lean back a little bit and keep a straight back, then rotate side to side. So as we start this, I want you to make sure that your knees are not going with you. So make sure your knees don't twist along with your body. Your knees are staying squared. They can be hip distance apart, or I'm squeezing mine tight together. And I want you to take your head with you as you rotate side to side. Take breaks when you need. So we are going to do 3 different options with the head. Option 1, taking your head with you as you rotate. 2 more each direction. You choose the pace. And then we'll take a break by pulling straight up. You can set your weight down for a second, and if you need some release for your low back, just hold on underneath your knees and stretch, or extend your legs out a little straighter and reach out towards your toes. So option 1, your head was turning with you. That doesn't give you much of a neck stretch, surprisingly so. So on the next set, come back in, decide how far your arms are going to be away from your body, hinge back. Now don't move your head. So look straight forward as we rotate for the Russian twist. So now your neck is actually getting some mobility. Even though you're not moving your neck, you're moving the rest of your spine, which is causing the axis to have some rotation. The axis is the second bone of your cervical spine, the first one being the atlas, which holds your head in position. 2 more each side. And come back to center. Let's take a break. Whatever stretch you want to do here, maybe it's butterfly, stretch. So the last option for the Russian twist is to actually look the opposite direction from the way your body is turning. So let's come back, and you don't have to hand the weight. If you don't want to do any weight, this is great. So as your body turns to the right, you're going to look over your left shoulder. So it's here and here. Okay, it's challenging, but you can do it. So bring the weights to the right, look left. Weights to the left, look right. So this gives you the most mobility in your neck. Takes the most concentration as well. 2 more each side. 1 more each side. Come back to center and release the weight down. Okay, let's take a little down dog stretch if that feels okay for you. If not, maybe a child's pose. So I'm going to roll over. Starting on hands and knees, we can just push the feet back, lifting the knees up off the floor. Take your inverted V or a little child's pose. That's, of course, depending on your shoulders and your wrists, other limitations you might have. If you're down in child's pose, go ahead and push your hands back so you come up onto your feet, lifting your knees up off the floor. Walk your hands back to your feet. Do a forward bend. And then we will restack our spine 1 bone at a time by keeping the tailbone tucked, curving the spine. We'll roll up. Your head comes up very last. And then open up into a nice chest expansion. Lift the heart up a little bit. And release it down. Fantastic job today. Thank you, everyone. I hope you can stay for a little chit chat. If you can't come to yoga next week and you can't stay for a chit chat, then love you, love you. Send me a message and let me know how everything's going for you. And we'll be in touch after that hip replacement. If you can stay for a chat, then let's do it. Okay, Jitsy's rolling. I'll get that shut off for us. All righty. Thanks, everybody. Here we go.